Kind of hammering you a little bit.
No, I mean, I thought it was too. It'd be one thing if I disagreed with everybody. I don't.
Question with Hector Lombard. What do you do with that guy? I mean, do you still high on him, or his opinion?
Did he make the fight with Marquinhos? Is that something you'd consider?
If I'm, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Are you angry with him at the way he fought?
No. I mean, you can't be angry with the guy, but it's just another way to show you guys too. Ranking guys that don't fight in the UFC, it's just two different worlds, man.
You said it up here, but if you go back and you talk to Czech and Sean and say, guys, what's going on here?
If they don't know that they fought like shit tonight, they should probably go get another job. Yeah, Lombard probably should fight at 170. He made 85 easy. Short and wide, but I think he could make 70. Yeah, 70 is no joke either. 70 is a very tough division.
Not that it's easier, but just
yeah.
Guys are bigger.
This is one of those things, the guy was on a 25-fight win streak, a lot of hype behind him. People have been talking about him forever. Guys that fight in other organizations end up in top 10 rankings, and it's a whole other world over here, man.
Just curious, how did this affect? You seem very hell-bent that you're going to give us the announcement.
Oh, no. This doesn't make the 85-pound division any less exciting right now. But he's got a broken foot. He lost.
Why delay the announcement?
Because I had fights made that would include the winner of this one either way. And now you got to regroup. Because, of course, one guy loses, the other guy's injured. So I got to regroup.
So what you're saying is nothing involves Anderson right now. It's other fights.
Yeah, nothing involves Anderson. If I had to right now, if we said, hey, listen, we have to make a fight right now for Anderson because Anderson wants to fight in 2 months, I'd do the Weidman fight. You know what I mean?
Right. Do you have any idea when Anderson wants to fight? Have you talked to him?
No, I haven't talked to him yet. No. He does want to fight. He's ready to go again, but I haven't talked to him yet, so we'll see what happens.
You think we might see him before the end of the year then?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe, or right after. Right after.
Dana, what about Michael Bisping because of the marketability and the fact that he was so close with Chael Sonnen? If he wins impressively over Brian Stann, does that give him the front runner spot? Or, I mean, Weidman obviously impressed a lot of people. But I'm wondering in terms of name and, the marketing power.
Yeah, Bisping's right in there, too. Bisping is very, very underrated because people hate him so bad. You know what I mean?
Which you love, I guess. Because
he's completely underrated. He's look at the fight with Rashad Evans and all the guys that Bisping's fought throughout his career. And because people hate him so much, they love the Dan Henderson thing. They love to throw that one in his face. But the guy's, without a doubt, one of the best 185-pounders in the world.
He said Friday, or at the weigh-ins, that he was led to believe an impressive win would get him a title shot.
An impressive win's going to give somebody a title shot. Yeah, like I said to you guys, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a guy that goes out and performs like Weidman. You go in, and you're ranked low in the top 10, and you take out number 2 or 3 the way that you did. That's what I'm excited about.
If you could just talk about the timeline with Dominic and with Renan, is Renan okay after this fight? Is he injured? And if so, is the timing for Dominic too long that Renan would take another fight in between that?
Renan's not injured at all. And I told you guys before when you guys were saying, Renan said that he won't fight in the weight for Cruz. It was the biggest fight of his life. He was fighting Uriah Faber. He had all this pressure on him. All he was thinking about was Uriah Faber. He'll fight again. He's not hurt. And we'll see what happens.
So talk about what you do with a guy like Cheick Kongo next. Obviously, people weren't happy with that fight. How do you sell him on a pay-per-view and expect people to want to pay money to see him fight again?
Yeah, I personally, me talking as the promoter, he looked scared to fight tonight. He'd throw one punch and then clinch, one punch and then clinch. He was fighting scared instead of fighting like the old Cheick Kongo. So I don't go out and say, oh, God, what are we going to do? He had a shitty performance tonight. He'll be on another card against somebody that he won't be able to one punch and clinch against.
Well, just so you know, he said that his shoulder is dislocated, his clavicle after the fight. I mean, it is sticking out. The guy couldn't even move, and he said it was a pre-existing injury for whatever that's worth.
Dana, can you elaborate just a little bit more about the meetings you have with fighters after the weigh-ins and stuff? I mean, going back to Pride, we always heard from the promoters, it's not whether you win or lose, it's if you put on a show. If you show that fighting spirit, you're going to be brought back. And not like tonight, again, an aberration, but as a promoter, as a businessman, is that the message you convey to the fighters, or what is your message?
The talk that goes on between me and the guys is between me and the guys. You don't ever see it on any of my video blogs. Nobody's allowed in there except for fighters, and it's just a conversation between me and them.
I'm curious about your conversation with Mitch Clark. We did a post-fight interview, and the guy's literally crying. He really, put a lot of heart in there tonight. Blew out his knee in his fight, but was really saddened about disappointing the fans and losing. And basically was saying, "Listen, I hope I still have a job." I'm, basically begging for a job. And I was curious on your thoughts on his performance tonight.
Yeah, I didn't talk to him ever, but I said all the undercard fights leading right up to the first fight on the pay-per-view were great fights. I mean, everybody did what you're expected to do. You can't be upset with any of those guys. And I mean, we've shown in the past, if you go out and you deliver, whether you win or lose. I mean, look at Dan Hardy. People were screaming, "Why aren't you cutting Dan Hardy?" Because Dan Hardy comes to fight.
When you say Barao will fight again, are you saying that's pretty much your expectation? It's going to take Dominic too long to heal up?
Yeah, look how long GSP's been out. They have the same exact surgery. They've had the same exact surgery. And if Barao or Faber or Cruz all believe that they're the best in the world, then they should defend the title. Because whether you do it now or do it after Faber, you're going to anyway. Whoever's next, you're going to fight him.
You alluded to a big executive meeting on Monday.
We have them every Monday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nothing special.
Nothing special.
Anything in particular?
Well, it's special, but it's nothing new.
What's on the itinerary?
So many things. I've been on the road for 3 weeks. I haven't. Me and Lorenzo have talked on the phone maybe 4 times since I've been gone. And there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, and it's the hardest part about running this thing right now is that we're both going in opposite directions, and it's crazy.
Any sense of relief that, at least on paper, the UFC on Fox card looks to be unbelievably solid with Shogun and Brandon Vera headline?
Hey, I thought,
and Lyoto Machida and Bader,
I thought this looked good on paper, too. Like I said, when I rolled into town on Wednesday and we had our press conference, I'm not up there making stuff up. I'm laying out the facts and the stats, and if there's one person who doesn't agree that they thought Lombard-Bosch was going to be awesome, tell me why. I mean, and I thought that Faber, and you never know what's going to happen. Did you raise your hand?
No.
Because I was going to say, you might be biased.
What do you do with Faber at this point? Lost 4 title fights in a row, going back to WEC.
He's going to hear about it.
At the top level.
He's going to hear about it from Cruz. But then I don't know,
In terms of promoting him,
yeah, it's one of those things we got to figure out. We love Uriah. Uriah's been a great fighter in the WC and the UFC, so we'll see what happens.
Any immediate plans for Chael Sonnen as well coming off, and what he's been able to do, not only for himself, but the business and everything? Is anything at all that you can comment about his future and where it might be?
Chael Sonnen's got an awesome future. I mean, the guy's still one of the best in the world. There are some interesting fights out there for him if that's what he chooses to do, and Fox loves him.
At 205 as well, maybe, or always at 185?
Yeah, the crazy, I don't know.
The Quinton Rampage Jackson stuff. I know
yeah, Quinton's got a fight already, and
Yeah.
then he claims he's leaving forever. So we'll see what happens. But, when I tell you Fox loves this guy, he's going to end up with a huge Fox deal. That's what I believe is going to happen. But, it's his life. We'll see what he decides.
Do you have a name in place for Barao? Do you have somebody that you know right now you'd like for him to fight next?
No, I haven't even thought about it.
You didn't seem. The way you said that, Rampage says he's going to leave. You just don't seem convinced that he might not be.
No, I don't. I mean, Rampage loves us one minute, hates us the next. So, loves the sport, hates it the next.
What about you? You love Rampage and hate him the next? What's the relationship right now with him?
Yeah, I don't have that kind of relationship with Rampage at all. I don't dislike or hate him. It's all good. It's up to him. It's his life. It's not one of these things where I'm like, oh God, Rampage, don't do it. It's Rampage's life. If you decide you don't want to be here anymore, or you don't want to fight anymore, we're not going to hold you down and keep you to it. And me and Rampage had this conversation because I said this before. And really, if that's true, then cut me from my contract right now. And I said, dude, we've had your back every step of the way. We've honored every contract that we've ever had with you. Honor yours. And he said, fair.